Hi, Chris. Thank you for
Hello.
joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And well, so today you've given us a bit of your time to share with us the history of the choreography competition and
Yep.
maybe share a bit of your thoughts on it. So for those people that don't know who Chris Anderson is, she is one of the most experienced and prolific choreographers in Australia. It's true. I counted. I went to the ACA website and I counted. You've got 28 routines listed down there, and I think I counted this month 6 that are currently on the dance list in almost all the levels.
Thanks.
So
yeah.
and then I look back, when did it all start? In 2015. That's when you started the first choreography competition.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we must have I think we thought it up in 2014. When did you win? When did you win?
Well, 2015, that's how I looked it up.
Yeah. Okay, so we must have thought it up in 2014. Yeah.
And did you think it up? Was there a group of you that thought it up, was it just mainly you?
I came in as vice president of the ACA and Jason was president, and I was kind of interested in a bit of competition, and I couldn't, of course, think of anything, but Jason and Leanne came up with the idea of a choreo competition in hope that it would not only increase the number of Australian choreographers, which it really has done, and also it would encourage people to go out on their own and start new clubs. That hasn't happened so much, but definitely there are a lot more Australian choreographers on the Australian dance list. It's nearly full of Australian choreographers, so that's a definite win. And
yes,
of course, you won the first one, and you are now a leader, so it's worked there.
Oh, true. That is true. The choreography competition's intention has been realized with
through
me.
you. Yeah.
I didn't think of that earlier. So, okay, that's a good thing. So one of my questions was actually going to be, what was your intention at that time? So obviously you've answered me that, on the one hand is to get people involved, and it also leads to more dancers, more choreographers. And so can you comment a little bit about the impact that you feel that it's had on Australian clogging and Australian choreography?
I think it's had quite a significant impact, because now not only do you get leaders writing their own material, you get club members writing their own material, which is just wonderful, and it gives them an outlet for their the direction they're trying to follow, which was the direction I tried to follow, and I was encouraged to do that by Edith Sandy. So, and it's been fantastic to me, because it just comes out of my feet and I like to put it down. So, but it is hard to do. It's hard to put it out there. Yeah. So
did we all hear that Chris said it just came out of her feet and then she had to put it somewhere? And I think many cloggers feel that way, in the car, in the supermarket, wherever they are. It comes up from her feet, and then I think the way that our classes are structured is still a little bit, teacher-student kind of environment, and you may not want to stand up in class and say, hey, this came out of my feet, but the choreography competition was such a good way for people to put something down and share it.
Yes, yes. And I mean, Kay and I used to get together, so we used to do choreography all the time for demos and things that we would do. So it was just pure fun for me.
Yeah.
It was fantastic fun. Yeah.
No, I love choreography too. Okay, I've got another question for you. I want you to think back to that very first year of the competitions, and do you have any funny or stressful memories about running it that first time? Because I can imagine something that has never been done, and
had a few little problems. I kind of just put it out there to any level, just it's got to be anonymous. So, you just get someone else to dance it for you, but the things I got back were just so different that it was really difficult for people to compare. So there'd be some videos I'd get back of people dancing in their normal shoes on their carpet at home, and just a video of their feet from the back. And then I'd get some videos that were almost professional videos. So they were just spectacularly done. And then I would get people dancing forward, some people dancing back, like it was just, and different levels, was just all over the shop. So at the end of that first one, I learnt a lot. So we had a few little rules come in that made it easier also for people to enter, because if they were having to video it themselves, some couldn't video and they didn't know what to do. So then they sent it to me. I danced it and videoed it for them. And in the end, I went, that's what we're going to do, because I could just do it so that people could compare the dances without looking at who was dancing it and how it was recorded. So that was a big learning curve. And also the level. It was very difficult because I sent out a survey to ask people, you know, what was good, what needed fixing. And one of the hardest things they said was comparing a basic dance to a intermediate plus dance. You know, the difference was just when you couldn't really compare them. So then we brought in the levels. So that was fun. It was just like this giant learning curve for me.
I think it would have been the first year, the learning curve would have been like this. For everything.
Well, for about the first 2 or 3 years, you know, the learning curve just kind of kept going up. But after that, it sort of smoothed out. But I had people helping me. One year in 2016, I just moved into our new house and I had to do all the demos, and I was waiting to get here because I have a really beautiful floor underneath, and we lost the roof. So I had nowhere to dance all these dances that I had. And that year, Donna Farry let me do it all over at her place, and Marcel Johnson helped. So, you know, that's cloggers for you. They're very helpful.
I know cloggers always come together for everything, but you know, there were so many learning experiences because it was new. But I just have to comment that as a participant, I thought it was smooth, it was seamless. All I did, because it was so easy at that time, send in your choreography, you know, a cue sheet and a video. And then for me, it was fine. And after that, it was, you know, just watching how it progressed. So from your standpoint, it might have felt that there was so many things that you had to manage. But I think from all the participants at that time, it would have been smooth sailing and everything was fine.
One of my absolute favorite things to do was when someone was really nervous about it, had never written anything before, and they didn't know how to write it, they didn't know how to do anything, was helping them through. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, just encouraging them and, you know, getting them through. And that was fun for me.
Yeah, because it's not really a solo thing in that, you know, you have to write it all yourself and then send it in. You can work with, like, we worked with you for the routines, and then now, you know, people can work with me, or sometimes I make them work with you again.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, sometimes they'd send something in and you'd have a dance of it. You'd say, oh, that part doesn't actually fit the music, or, you know, you've got a few extra beats in there, you know, like, so it's just things like that, working them through that and getting them to, you know, do all those things that you have to do as a choreographer. It was just really fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one last question for you today. Where do you see the choreography competition going in the future?
Okay, well, I actually think the original idea of Jason's was to encourage new clubs. Now, I was thinking, how do you get new clubs and new members and all that sort of thing? And I think demos are one of the things that you could do. So even like in the choreography competition, if you've won or if you've got a dance on the list, all these different things, you can't enter. But perhaps groups could enter, and they could be of like the whole, like that, you'd have to work that out. It could be partners, it could be the club. And I think it couldn't be anonymous then, but you'd have to have things like has to have hand movements, has to have some kind of formation. And then that could be taught at a national convention so that it was shared, how you do those hand movements, how you did the formation. And that might encourage more people to get out and demo, because they've got a demo, they've learnt a demo, they know how to do that one. That one they could get out and do in public. So, you know, that might be a way forward.
I love that idea. You won't believe it. I was listening to you and I got goosebumps listening to that idea because I love it. Everyone, that's where the choreography competition may be going.
Well,
it's
just because I know that the other thing you could do is, of course, is allow any choreographer in to do more difficult dances. That's also another way forward. But I think because we have the showcase, it has really, technically, you're not allowed to have hand movements in it unless they're in the cue sheet. But I think learning how to create a demo is an important thing to know, you know, and there's people out there doing fantastic jobs, and it'd be great to share it.
Yeah. Okay. I am taking that idea, and I'll probably be drawing on your experience again, you know, and this will be something really exciting for the choreography competition. So it's a different type of choreography.
Well, yeah, wow. Very different. Yeah. And it wouldn't be anonymous, which is, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but because it'd be almost impossible to make it anonymous.
No, it can't be anonymous, but that's that brings out the other side of things, where if you're going to do a demo, you have to be a performer. You do need to learn how to be a performer. So
and what looks good, so they need to be facing the camera when they send it in, all those different things, you know, it needs to look good. It needs to make you want to, you know, get up and clap or whatever as a someone watching. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is so exciting. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy lady, but so thank you very much for talking to us and telling us about where the choreography competition has come from and where it could go. That's a really exciting bit. Thank you so much for today.
See you. You're doing a great job. Thanks, Amanda. Bye.
Thanks, Chris. Can't find the stop button.